Hello, welcome to this impromptu video. In this one we're going to have a look at the bank changes that have just happened in QuickBooks Online.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me.
Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Patrick, I'm a Chartered Accountant Certified UK Trainer and also that QuickBooks chap. Now it looks like overnight that we've got a new look and feel to our bank account, and that's what we're going to do a quick look now at exactly what's changed in the bank and how we continue to use it. Okay, so let's look at all the differences that we can find then. So the bank card itself looks exactly the same, which is great. The bits where we can see differences though are now the names of what we have here. They're now called For Review, Categorized and Excluded, which is different to what it used to be called when it used to be classed as For Review and Reviewed. Below that we have some more extra info to actually start looking at filtering our data, which is really useful. So we've now got some really useful areas in which we can play around with our dates, and we can do that, which we had before, but now on the all transactions we can really filter down into elements here. So we can look at what's recognised, what's matched, what's transferred, and any rules applied. So that's going to be really useful. We've now got a search bar here as well, so we can start searching for Vodafone, for example. Press return, and the Vodafone transactions will come up. So these filtering options here are going to be really useful for us. When we go on an individual transaction though, we now have a few extra bits here. So again, it says categorize. It then says find match and record as transfer. There now, the record as transfer is not hidden behind the option we want to do. We then choose the corporation tax payable. We look at add attachment still there, which was there before. We then get an option to create a rule here, and exclude is sat just here for us. And exclude's new because we didn't have the option to exclude before. The split button looks exactly the same, so we've got no extra options here, but now create a rule brings up the new rule version on the right hand side. So before, when we press create a rule, we're getting the old rule screen, so that's nice to see. When we do add a transaction, so let's put this to telephone, we don't seem to get that message now saying that it will start to learn it, which is a shame. Now when we go to add a category, we don't get told that it's then going to save that as a, but it does go and put the green categorization options up, which is nice to see. So now if I use my filter to recognized, then the Vodafone ones now appear because they are the ones that have been reconciled going forward. So that's still going to be really useful to us. And then we can even go from what's matched or transferred. On the right hand side, we get a new option called groups. I really like this. So this is where we get to group within the month. So that's going to be quite useful to us. On the right hand side, we have groups. We have an Americanism term here of check number, but that is just short check number. Page size can now be increased to 300 transactions. So that's up from what we had before. So that's great. We got remember categorize section. So we get to choose that on and off. So we can turn that on and off if we want to, and also show suggested rules. So I'm assuming that if I was to put Vodafone in one more time, then, this has changed slightly. So the suggested rule page is a little bit different to what it was before. Not by much, but still something that we can look at. Is Vodafone always telephone? That's quite a nice touch. So create rule. That should now mean that I have a rule in place for my other Vodafone. And that's interesting. It's automatically auto-added it. It didn't ask me if I wanted to auto-add or not auto-add. So that's quite a huge change there. So the auto-add functionality is automatically being applied. See if I can try that one more time. Have I got anything else? Because I was in group mode, I can do description and I can show just my Audis. So if I was to add the first Audi, add the second, so the auto add feature is there. You've just got to see it just there. Look, so you've got to remember, you can turn it on and off. One thing it doesn't though is it doesn't tell you there what that rule is going to be. So we just got to keep an eye on that. We have the option to edit the rule if we want to, where we can name it and auto add. Okay, let's add that one. So let's do it with British Telecom. Add. This time don't auto add. Create the rule. The rule's there, which means I can do rule applied, and it only shows me with that one. So yeah, this grouping of numbers option is really good actually. Category by matched, we can do it by there, and spent, money in, money out. Okay, so I really like that. It's a nice little feature there, and we can even close the groups and only work on a particular group if we want to. Alright, so we can also still use our batch is completely changed. So before, when we started ticking items, we would then have to go batch actions and accept, update and exclude. That's completely changed now. So now it's accept, update or exclude. So accept is just going to accept it based on what we've got here. Update looks exactly as we saw before, so there's no difference here, just expense and transfer. You can update as a transfer as well. That's good. And then you can choose what category you're going to post it to and apply. And in the word in there, apply and accept, which looks quite good. Or exclude, so we can exclude on batch as well. So the batch options now happens the second you click more than one item. In fact, as soon as you click any item, that's where your batch options appear at the top. Under the category one, you've got this new purple area that's telling you that where it's been posted to. And let's see what happens if we can do a match as well. So let's do a PC World 1100. And when you have a find match, it looks exactly the same. And when you click on find other matches, we're getting the same screen again. So nothing's changed with find match. What about if we're going to add a transfer there? Let's find something that could be, let's see this bank deposit. Well, let's do recorders transfer. And then this looks exactly the same. Although it is giving us an option to do create rule, exclude and add attachment to the, from a categorized option, I can undo. My batch options now, as soon as I tick on anything, batch has disappeared. You can categorize. The bank account at the top's now changed, so you now have a link account, and if I drop down, upload from file. So link account comes to the same page you know before, and just make sure upload from file brings you to the same page we've seen before. So no changes there whatsoever. Rules page is exactly how our new rule is, although it does look slightly more updated with the applied to. And then our receipts page looks exactly the same as we'd expect it to. So basically, by the looks of that, we've got some really nice changes there, especially that grouping feature. I think that's really, really useful. And the fact that batch accounts or the batch mode now seems to work more fluidly, so there's less clicking to do to make it work. I think it's going to be something that's going to be really useful going forward. Terminology's changed slightly, so we now have for review, categorized and excluded, apart from for review, reviewed and excluded, and I think that will go down quite nicely. And finally, the ability for us to filter the data much more fluidly is going to be something that could be quite a useful feature. What do you think to the new features then? Have you been able to add them on at all to any of your clients? Hopefully you have, and hope you've been able to have a play of it. Do let me know below what you think of them, but personally I think this is a really good change. It's definitely quite a big change. It's definitely quite a few new features in there we've not had before, but it's definitely something that is going to be useful going forward. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, then don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to go through some more breaking news as soon as it happens. So if you do want to keep up to date with what's going on with QuickBooks, you're in the right place. It's been a pleasure to do this video for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah. You know I want him, nah. My heart is saying yeah.